you could have taken some, like, just elaborated, one topic and just elaborated on it, and go on a little detail about each topic, some details, and some reaching application, personal application. Those things were not so much seen as if it is just an introduction of the, just a, it appeared as if there was just an introduction of it, but there was no much of preaching and personal application and the mood and mission.
Positive. Say something positive.
Positive. Oh, positive. Yeah, that's what I said. It's quite a extensive subject. That's why to cover up all in one, it was really difficult. But your attempt was good. Good.
Hare Krishna. So, Bhagavanata Guru, you tried to present this 10 topics of the Bhagavatam in a very concise and nice way. So, you covered all the 10 topics and you basically explained each one of them. You had some points for preaching application. You did speak about Big Bang and Darwin's theory and how it can be refuted by this Sarga and Visarga. You spoke something about Srila Prabhupada's preaching and his mode and mission, and you had some points for personal application and gratitude. For some points you did have, but definitely there could be a little bit further elaboration. So especially here in this case, coming to the 10th topic of Ashray, and one important point which Shukdev Goswami does mention in the 10th chapter, almost in the beginning, some 4th or 5th verse, that how all the 9 topics are meant
to understand.
Yes, to understand the 10th one. So that's an important point. And so therefore, in personal application, then those are important points, how we are trying to ultimately understand Krishna as the absolute truth. And Srila Prabhupada's mode and mission, then that's what Srila Prabhupada preached. Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his entire writing of the Bhagavatam and everything was meant for that purpose. So those are some points for Srila Prabhupada's mode and mission. And in personal application, we can add points like taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, how to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and how the understanding of all the other topics will help us to increase our surrender. So these are some points for personal application that could be added. And otherwise, you nicely quoted all the verses in connection to the 10 topics, and you tried to explain briefly about each one of them. So thank you very much for your efforts to come with this presentation. Let's show appreciation. Hari Bo.
Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna. Any comments?
Actually, I had a good amount of notes, but as soon as you 5 minutes and 1 minute, I thought what to speak and what not to speak.
Hare Krishna. Okay, next.
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो शिवदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे।
So I seek the blessings of all the devotees and the feedback also for my improvement. So my topic is simple, but let's see how I can present. The topic name is Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Krishna is the property of materially impoverished. So we know from which verse this is from. Kunti Maharani's prayers. First canto, 8th chapter, verse number 26. So I'll recite the verse. Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhir Yedyamana Madapuman Naivarhartya Vidhatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. So the translation is, My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with a respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with a sincere feeling. So here Kunti Maharani is telling that. So these opulences, when person has, that person cannot chant Lord's name with feelingly. He may be chanting, he may be going to temple, he may be donating much amount of Lakshmi in the temple, but then feelingly that cry or feelingly chanting is not there. So what Prabhupada says in purport, we'll read few lines from purport. Like Prabhupada is saying that materially well-to-do men cannot chant Lord's name feelingly, which can destroy the sin even we cannot commit in all lifetimes. So this is the potency of holy name. Everybody knows the 7 effects of chanting the holy name in Cheto Darpana Marjam verse is there. And the Namna Makari Bodha Nija Sarva Shaktis. All potency of Lord's holy name, Lord's potency is there in the holy name. More than that, holy name is more merciful than Lord. We have heard this. But still, because of this material opulences, person, what kind of intoxication is there that he cannot chant the Lord's name with that feeling? Like intoxication, we have experienced today also. We have taken the curd. We have experience of sweet rice also. As soon as we take it, we feel that intoxicating effect. We have experience of when we were child. Games has also intoxication. Manly beauty, that has also intoxicating effect. So these examples we will see. So because of that, which is most important dharma, paro dharma, that we forget, we become inattentive to that. So that Prabhupada is explaining that purport. And he's saying that these are disqualifications for the progress in spiritual practices. And he's saying further, the principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material fever. Prabhupada is considering these are material fever. And we should be happy to decrease this fever, because fever is artificial state of this body. So similarly, whatever conditionings we are gathering, just like these are opulences, these are vibhutis of the Lord, beauty, desire for getting birth in a high family, then education, wealth, everything. So person in some life or in this life, he may have desired and he has endeavored for that, and that's why he has got. So this is material abhilasha of a person. And when he gets this, not desiring for the Lord's bhakti, so then these things has intoxicating effect. So like one day I heard example of Bharat Maharaj also. He was a devotee on the Bhava stage. But still we can see the Prabhu was saying, he was in the material world without any association. And there also he could, when he was associating with the deer, so then attachment got developed with the deer. And that attachment is the product of Rajagun, passion. So I was asking how the person who is on the Bhava stage, this kind of Rajagun can come in him. So this is the effect of this material world. As till the point we have this material body, and till the point till we are in this material world, so these things has effect, certain effects. So that's why Prabhupada is comparing this as material fever, and he's saying that these intoxications which lead one to be more and more illusion about the aim of life, and person gets artificially puffed off, and then he forgets the aim of life. So this was what Prabhupada has explained in this. So there are many examples. It is not that person who has these opulences, he cannot chant the Lord's name, he was not a pure devotee. We see few examples in our in Puranas, in history also, that very great personalities were there, kingly personalities, Rajashis. They were also devotees of Lord. But then still, why this is considered as impurities in the conditioned soul? Why this is considered as intoxication? So then, one example I can consider in that. Just like small child, when he is climbing on a staircase first time, then he feels some fearful situation, and then when he climbs the second step, then he feels that yes, I can climb. I was successful in first step, in second step also. Then he feels confidence, and when he climbs further, then in third steps he becomes pride. Pride develops in him, and then fourth steps. What would be the reason? Fall down because of little attention. So that is there. So it is not that Lord does not want to give his opulences or anything to this Jivatma, because we are his part and parcel. And we remember the example of Mother Lakshmi also, when she had desired that I want another Vaikuntha, then Lord has created that also. So then that's why Lord's another name is Vaikuntha. So, but still, because this pride is there, just like if somebody says, I have a lot of wealth, I have beauty, so there is nothing wrong in this sentence. But when person says, I am wealthy person, or I am beautiful, so this is considered as a pride. So because of this pride only, person gets deviated from his ultimate goal. So few examples I want to get from you also. Some negative examples, like Kunti Marni saying is high birth. Someone is taking birth in a higher caste, and then because of that intoxication, he is not respecting saintly personalities, or he is not attracting towards holy name, not going towards back to earth. That goal is not there. So any example you remember? Yes. Nal Kuer Manigriv, very famous example it is. So these personalities have taken birth in a heavenly planet that is considered as Satugun Pradhan planet, right? And their father was Kuer, rich personality. They must have taken good education from University of Brihaspati. So and the beauty is also there. And then we hear that Kuvera's associates, they are followers of worshippers of Lord Shiva. So they must have contact with Lord Shiva also. And they were taking bath in the Mandakini river, very sacred river. But still we can see, because of these 5 things, such intoxicated they were. They were doing water pastimes naked with a woman. And effect was, they were not giving proper respect to Narad Muni also, such a great saintly personality. This is the intoxicating effect in Satuguna Pradhan planet also. So what to talk of this earthly planet, which is Rajugun Pradhan, and mostly people are in the mode of passion and ignorance only. So we all have experience also. We are in the contact with gadgets and sometimes Lakshmi also, so and management. So these things have effect certainly in our consciousness. So we should be careful not to get deviated like that. So that's why one verse comes in Hari Bhakti Shuddhodhan, that Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japa Tapaha. So Bhagavad Bhakti is not there in a person, but still that person may be born in the higher caste, Jati Shastra, he is well versed in the scripture knowledge, Tapa and Japa Tapa, in that he is very powerful person. But Bhagavad Bhakti is not there, then what he is considered? Apranasya Hidayasya. Lokanam Mandanam Hilokaranjanam. So like that, decorating the dead body. So this is like that. So Bhagavad Bhakti is glorified in all the scriptures, especially this Amal Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. So if this is not there, then it is like decorating dead body only. And in terms of knowledge, we see the intoxicating effect of knowledge. We have the example of Keshav Kashmiri. He was a pure devotee of Mother Saraswati. But still, he was moving throughout the world with this paper and with this big procession, sitting on an elephant. to get the signatures of all. So this is what intoxication is there because of this knowledge, right? And then we hear another Digvijay Pandit, I think Rup Narayan, who approached Rup Goswami. So there we can see the attitude of Rup Goswami. He easily gave the sign, but he was not ready to do this time pass debating with a person, because, right? So these kinds of acharyas and devotees, saintly personalities, we can learn where our focus should be, not wasting our time in this. And another example in terms of beauty, we see Urvashi. She was heavenly girl, and when she got attracted by seeing the beauty of Pururava, then she came here, married, and after a few years, when she went, then we see the Pururava got mad after her, and when she was not approachable, then he did the yajna for Vishnu, and when Lord Vishnu personally appeared, so we can imagine the beauty of Lord Vishnu, uncomparable beauty. But still, he was demanding Uroshi only from Lord Vishnu. So we can see how intoxicating effect it has. Right. And another example we hear Ahilya also, Mother Ahilya, when Indra approached. So she had also that kind of ego, that Indra is getting attracted to me. So then she also agreed. So we can see in these kinds of great personalities also, if this effect is there, then what to talk of us? So how much we should be careful. No? And when wealth comes, wealth has also intoxicating effect. Any example you remember? Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, these are people. Ravan has the bungalow of gold only. Whole Sri Lanka was of gold. But still he is running after other pleasures. He got the curse from one, who was that? Yaksha? So he got curse from them, and still he was approaching. He kidnapped Mother Sita, seeing her beauty. So these things are there, and then because of this, what effect we see? His whole dynasty got finished by Lord Ramchandra. So this is there. And other examples we see Chitraketu. He was king, many wives he had, but he had no child. So then, though their Angira Muni came, Narad Muni came, and then they were giving good advice, but still he was not ready to listen that. So this is there. And then Shatrajit also we remember in 10th canto, that Lord Krishna himself is saying that the Shamantak jewel you have, you should give that jewel to King Ugrasen. But still he was not ready to listen to the Supreme Personality of Godhead also. So you can see how intoxicating effect this has. So how one can chant Lord's name feelingly. So that's what Mother Kunti is saying in this verse. So like that. And Upabharan also. Remember who is Upabharan? Narad Muni. In previous life Narad Muni was Narad boy Dasi Putra. In the previous life he was Upabharan. He was also very beautiful personality, and singing sweet songs, singing for Lord's pleasure, then slowly for the pleasure of other people, and then for himself. Then he got the curse and he became Dasi Putra. So these are various examples we are seeing that Janma Ishwarya Shuddha Shrivi Adya Mana Madha Pumar. So these people cannot approach you, that Mother Kunti is saying. But on another side we see a few examples, some positive examples, where when poverty-stricken people or the rich personalities, they have approached Lord, they have good feeling for the Lord, they were pure devotees, right? So the example of rich personalities like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Shrutadev, so Baulasha, many people are there. They have taken birth in a good family, some have good beauty. You can give some examples who are very beautiful. They are not intoxicated for their beauty, but they offer their beauty themselves to the Lord. Sorry, which example? Vasudeva Vipra. No, Rukmini Mata. Wonderful example. Another Kubja also we can say, when she became too beautiful after Lord's meeting, then she offered her beauty, wanted to please the Lord. So these things are there. And then in a poverty-stricken condition also there are many people. Kolavachi Sridhar, Sudama, Shrutidev, Shukdev, Shrutidev. So many examples are there, right? So, and one example we can consider Mother Devhuti's example also. So beautiful she was that when demigods used to wander, they would fall down from their aeroplane by seeing the beauty of Mother Devhuti. But still, we see the Devhuti, she approached for marriage to Kardam Muni, who is like a beggar only. He has nothing as material precision. And the attitude of Kardam Muni also we can see he was not in a mood of exploitative mentality, right? And then because of that, because he was following his dharma, right? We see in Bhagavad Gita also, Matra Sprashastu Konte Shitashna Sukha Dukhada. Lord is saying that Shitashna, whatever external situations are there, we should learn to tolerate these situations. And because of tolerating these situations, we can focus on our internal growth, majorly following our dharma. And then paradharma, we can focus on that. If we just waste our time adjusting the external situations with AC, cooler, anything, so then our focus gets deviated. And then other small dharmas like taking care of our parents. Parents are there, now they are earning. When they will get old, then will you throw them out? No. So these things are there. We are somehow taken Brahmanical initiation. So duty for them is to take bath even in cold season. So there's the duty. So external situations may be anything. We will not adjust it. But then we should focus on following our dharma. So that Lord is saying. So by developing this kind of tolerance power, we can focus on our dharma. And then Shrutadev's example, our devotees have quoted, taken birth in a high family, good family. But then another people like Haridas Thakur, taken birth in the lowest family, we say, the Malicha family. But he is also considered as pure devotee, Namacharya Haridas Thakur. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gave the title. So this means any kind of material situations may be there, person can approach Supreme Lord, provided he should be careful in dealing with the material assets, he should be respectful, he should be associating with the saintly personalities, taking their guidance, he should be in contact with the scriptures, Shastri Shraddha we say. So that must be there, otherwise there are huge amount of chances that single material thing can deviate any kind of person. Like Jad Bharat Maharaj, he got deviated because of deer only. So these things are there. So that's why, although we hear the Rupa Goswami's teachings, Yukta Vairagya, but still what elder brother has given the teachings, like his guest Burijan Prabhuji, some devotee asked him question that Prabhuji, for Yukta Vairagya only, we are not keeping polythenes in our locker, but we keep polythenes for giving prasadam, some guest come. So that's why we keep polythenes. So is it allowed or not? So then Prabhuji said, no. What Sanatana Goswami, the elder brother, is giving teachings, that we should try to follow first. Vairagya. What example we remember? When Ishan was taking gold coins, then Sanatana Goswami, when he came to know, then he told that why are you taking this death with you? So then he sent him home. He said, not required. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave the same teachings when he was carrying heavy, costly woolen shawl. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was constantly seeing that. And then Sanatana Goswami understood and he left that and took the loin cloth from a beggar. So these are the teachings that first we should try to follow the Vairagya principles, and then by cross-checking with the seniors, we can take the assets and use it. Nirbandhi Krishna Sambandhi, Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. Then that should be done under guidance. Because people are watching us every day now. especially the saffron cloth. This people respect. Even we are brahmachari, but people see as we are sannyasi only. So, so this dress has some value that should be respected. And then of course the the poverty and difficulties are there in our society or in our personal life. So that we should try to see as a blessing or the mercy of Lord, because Mother Kunti also saying in one verse, Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshan vechat apunarbhav darshan. So means all Pandavas faced many kinds of difficulties, but still she is asking more difficulties, because by that I will get the darshan of Lord. I can chant feelingly Lord's holy name. I can constantly remember Him. No? I will value the value of devotional service. So by that what will happen? Apunarbhava darshan. Again there will not be birth and death situation. So like morning also Prabhuji was telling example of Prashadra. So here when he was inattentive in his services, so he got the curse by Guruji. But then when he took that curse positively and he started repenting and then did severe austerities in devotional service, and then he got liberated from that curse also and went back to Godhead. So like that positively we can see, because Lord also help us. Lord says no tasyaham anugrahanami harishyata dhanam shanai. Lord takes everything from, that is his anukampa on his sincere devotees. Because Prabhupada also said in his many lectures, Prabhupada said that I had many things. I had my factory also, lot of money. My plan was different, but then mercifully Lord has taken everything. And then I was thinking, what is this? But then Prabhupada said, now I am thinking that the Lord has taken this, so that was better only. I have lost few children, but then I got thousands of children now, lot of property. And we see still he was not attached to any of the temple, any property, because his connection, his hook of what we say asakti attachment was Supreme Lord. When that is there, then person cannot get deviated, cannot get corrupted, cannot get intoxicated, even though there may be poverty-stricken condition or very rich condition. So this is the criteria. So in case of Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj also we see in his matha, once he was telling, no, this Bagh Bazaar temple, people are getting attached to this Ganga facing room. So then Prabhupada said that it would be better if I can sell this marble and print the books. So then Prabhupada caught this mood of printing books from that verse. And then mood of Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was not this richness. One another example also we see in his life, that whenever there is a lot of money in the temple, he would organize big festivals and pandal programs and then spend whole Lakshmi. So that brahmacharis will again go for begging and again they will be engaged constantly. He would not like fat belly brahmachari sleeping or and doing anything. So so that is mercy actually, mercy of our acharyas, mercy of Supreme Lord. Everyone is supporting us. So why not to align with these principles, right? And in case of gopis also we see Lord was there for 11 years in Vrindavan and then he left Vrindavan. Why? Preach. Gopis are proud. What? No, for 11 years Lord Krishna was there in Vrindavan and then he left. He never went back. Separation. Because the feeling of separation, there is intense amount of love is there, and whatever tinge is remaining in somewhere, so that also will get washed off. So there is a lot of dirt in our heart also. So we need a lot of purification, right? So that's why these are the conditions. And Lord want full surrender, like Draupadi. She raised both hands and then called Lord's holy name with feelingly, giving of her own pride that I can hold the sari. She understood the situation. And then she raised her both hands, then Lord came. Lord didn't come before that. So that's why Lord wants full Sharanagati, and there are 6 limbs of Sharanagati. What are the 6 limbs of Sharanagati? Anukulasa Sankalpa Pradikulasya Varjanam Rakshishati Vishaso Goptate Varnam Tatha, Atmanikshepa Karpanya, Shadudam Sharanagati. So when these kinds of Sharanagati principles, 6 principles are there, per person is following, then Tar Prathana Shri Nanda Kumar. The Lord hears the prayers of this kind of person. So this is there. And then mercy, ultimately, bhakti process and everything depends on mercy only. Just like Prahlad Maharaj says, Bala Sineha Sharanam Pitaro Nrsimha. Until and unless your mercy is not there, Lord Nrsimhadev, the parents cannot protect child, the boat cannot protect the drowning man, and what is third example? Doctor. Yes, he cannot save the patient. So, mercy of Supreme Lord is needed. But to attract that mercy of Supreme Lord, what is needed? A prayerful chanting, chanting with the feeling. So that is needed with Sharanagati. So these things are there. So one should be very careful, one should be very vigilant in his practices, and that is very much possible. That becomes possible in association of devotees. Bharat Maharaj was outside of devotee association, that's why he faced the challenge. And sometimes in association also we face some challenge to what to do. That means we are not taking proper association. So these are there. And then to rise from the mode of passion and ignorance, there should be constant endeavor in constant practice, sincere practices with the determination. That should be there. Just like it is said in Bhagavad Gita 18.33. Determination in goodness practices. So these things are there. So 2 minutes are remaining, I think. 5 minutes. Okay. So just like Shankaracharya also said, Ma kuru dhana jana yavana garvam harati nimishat kala sarvam. So one should not be proud with this dhana jana yavan, because harati nimishat kala sarvam, everything will be taken away. In what amount of time? Just nimish matra. In terms of Brahma's lifespan, our life is just a flash. Prabhupada writes this. So why one should be getting attached to these things? Same thing our Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says in one Vaishnava song. What is that? Kamala Dala Jala, Jivana Talamala. In that another stanza, Edhana Jana Edhana Yavana Putra Parijana Ete ke Ashi Par Pritide. So same thing he is saying. So small life we have got, rare chance of human birth we have got. So we should try to be careful, more careful, not waste this human form of life. So this much I can say. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So any question, feedback?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this Janmeshwara Shruti Shribhir, they can cause pride. But still in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, even if you fail, I will give birth to you in a very rich family and mercantile family and like that. So how can we understand this? Why Krishna is placing us in a circumstance where we can develop pride?
These are different situations only. These things are causing pride in our heart. And then another situation, that person who is practicing devotional service, he will surely get birth in next life. But he should be careful. When these things are there, that will develop pride. So why to take another chance? One should be more serious. And when these things are still there, we have. So many people have a lot of wealth and education. So these things he can utilize for Krishna's service under guidance of spiritual master. So there is no bad having these things.
I just have one question, Prabhu.
Feedback, Prabhuji Singh.
Question. This you were explaining that these things may make somebody proud, this having wealth and etc. But we see from the life of great kings, which we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, like what comes in my mind is King Pratap Rudra. So he was a king actually, and he was having every wealth and everything. And he was not proud also, but he was seen like as if he is proud, even by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, many good examples also we saw.
Yeah, and on the other hand, we see the other example where in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Sukadeva Goswami is coming to Parikshit Maharaj himself, and when he needs him the most, and he's enlightening him. So how do we understand, like some kings are there, they may not become proud, but why do we generally tend to see things that as if somebody is very opulent and he must be proud or something like that?
No, because with the small examples we can understand every material thing has some potency to deviate us. We get attached to our mobile phones when it is lost. We get attached to Lakshmi also. When it is lost, we forget our chanting sometimes and we try to search that money. So intoxicating effect it has certainly, but in terms of these kinds of pure devotees, because of their purity, they can balance the things. Because to handle this matter also need some potency. That potency one gets by his purity. And when person does practices devotional services, when person is other people who are in the mode of goodness also, they also to some degree they can handle matter, but not all. Like that.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
You elaborate each word and then you give examples for each section, like for wealth, beauty, knowledge, everything. So that was nice. As such, no much improvement. I was expecting like few more Prabhupada pastimes. So you might have shared Prabhupada also, how he actually he had nothing in the initial phase, and then he, or of course you covered the second part ki बहुत कुछ आ गया, but the first part में भी बहुत struggle किया, थोड़ा उसको भी ऐसा बोल सकते हैं properly approached Prabhupada only this sloka and like that. I think overall it was nice, and it was quite interactive also. You asked many questions and devotees were giving examples, so that was also nice, Prabhuji. And answer also you gave very nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So Kurmakar Prabhu, thank you very much for well-prepared presentation on this topic of Tvama Kinchana Gocharam. And so you nicely covered the topic with various examples, Janma, Ishwari, Shutashri. And many points for personal application, how one should not be distracted by various opulences, not become proud, prayerful chanting. And also you did speak something on the topic of Yukta Vairagya. So those were good points for personal application. Srila Prabhupada Mode and Mission, you did cover some pastimes of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And preaching application, of course, in one sense, you did cover to some degree, but not in a very direct way. So preaching application point in this connection could be that, so somebody may say, of course, just like Akshobhir Prabhu did ask to some in a different way. But a common person could ask, so are these for disqualifications to practice devotional service? Somebody could ask that question, isn't it? So at the end of that purport, Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example. क्या है वो? तो सबसे पहले वर्स का purport पूरा पढ़ना चाहिए ना ठीक से. What is the example Prabhupada gives? All opulences are compared to नहीं क्या उसमें? Read the last few sentences of the purport. हाँ. अच्छा. Prabhupada is not giving that example of zeros and one?
No, that is not there.
It's not here? Achha, I was thinking it was in this purport. Maybe in the next, I don't remember. But anyway, Prabhupada does talk about this example, right? So all opulences are compared to zeros, but if you put one in front of them, then they can be used in Krishna's service. So that's the answer to... so are opulences disqualification? No, they're not disqualification. So they're disqualification if they're not used in Krishna's service. But at the same time, if they're used in Krishna's service, then it becomes an asset. So, of course, in our movement, we have Ambarish Prabhu, wealthy man, who used everything for Srila Prabhupada's service. So that's in preaching application. Good verse from Bhagavad Gita to quote in this context is Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Teya Paratujata. And on the principle of Yukta Vairagya, maybe a little bit more explanation could have been there. You did speak about the importance of Vairagya. But then in the purport to the next verse, Namo Akinchana Vittaya, which is a similar theme. But then Srila Prabhupada explains about, gives the story of Sanatana Goswami, touchstone, and then at the end of that, Srila Prabhupada explains that how, until one is able to see everything as spirit, one must always distinguish between matter and spirit. So the Yukta Vairagya, you did mention the Yukta Vairagya principle is to be practiced under guidance. So that point you did mention. So yes, ultimately nothing is a disqualification if can be used in the Lord's service. But still at the same time one must see what is one's qualification. So a few additional points I'm telling for in the context of Yukta Vairagya, which Srila Prabhupada speaks in the next verse. And in Srila Prabhupada's mood and mission, then we could tell about how Srila Prabhupada initially didn't have anything, afterwards he had so much, but still he was detached. You did mention the point. But then to substantiate that, the example of how Srila Prabhupada, he was happy living in the small kutir in Mayapur. And even in the small hut of His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj at Bhubaneswar. So just a few examples to illustrate that. Otherwise, I think you nicely covered the entire topic and many important lessons for us to learn. So thank you very much for your well-prepared presentation. Let's show appreciation. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Any comments?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, 10 minutes break and then the next presentation. Who's that? Take.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Mandaram Gurangpu, the recording is going on. So last year we had this Bhagavatam verses presentation, na? So some devotees का रह गया था. तो आप में से किसी का रह गया था क्या प्रभु जी? हाँ, आपको तो मैंने नोट कर लिया. पंचतत्व कृपा प्रभु के 2 हो गया. और किसी का रह गया था लास्ट ईयर भागवतम प्रेजेंटेशंस? अच्छा, आप सबका हो गया है. ओके. सो आपसे तो मैंने बात कर ही लिया, आपसे मैं बात करता हूँ इंडिविजुअली. थैंक यू प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण.